Welcome to the Every Temple podcast. My name is Tony, and this is my co-host Janelle.
Hello.
And together we want to talk about the history and stories from every temple of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Today we're excited to talk about the Buenos Aires Argentina Temple. President Benson said the blessings of the house of the Lord are eternal. They are of the highest importance to us because it is in the temples that we obtain God's greatest blessings pertaining to eternal life. Temples are really the gateways to heaven. Thank you for joining us. Do we have anything going on? Oh, I spoke in church.
Oh, yeah. She did great.
It went fine. I've now gotten over it. So I don't have a problem standing up to speak, but my body just reacts by shaking.
Yeah.
Like a little leaf whenever I'm in front of people.
I react by crying.
If I'm going to cry, that's a deal breaker. Mentally, I can't do that. But if I know it's just a fun talk, mentally, I'm fine. But
yeah.
Just getting up makes my whole body shake.
Well, I didn't see you shaking.
Yeah, well, my kids could see it. Yeah, but I talked about the Mount Timpanogos Temple, and that's coming up in a few months. But most of the feedback I got was different people recommending people for our podcast. I don't think they realize how small this operation is. You should get Tom Holdman on. I was like, yeah, totally.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, we're not that.
We don't even have microphones.
Yeah, no microphones, no cameras, just the internet.
I think he might think it's weird coming into your kitchen to just chat.
Yeah, I've seen him on real podcasts where he sat with a microphone and his wife and lighting.
Yeah, we're not there yet.
No, we're not. But there were some other good suggestions, but we can talk about that. Okay. Temple news. The Harare, Zimbabwe dedication is March 1st. Elder Gong's going to do that, and it will be the 8th temple in Africa. Very excited.
That's awesome.
And then I heard that the San Diego temple is almost done with its renovation. It's been closed for 3 years.
Okay.
And so I'm hoping to hear about when the open house is going to be, but it does take a lot of work to put together an open house.
Yeah, and how long it will be, I wonder.
Yeah.
I feel like it might be like a destination open house.
Yeah, it could be big. It could be like a month. That would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be fun. We should go.
Yeah, I was going to say it, but I didn't.
I know.
They'll have great pictures at least.
Yeah.
So we're going to be talking about that in a few weeks anyway. So we'll update you when we hear about it. Anything else?
No.
Okay, let's talk about Buenos Aires. The first thing I did was listen to Evita.
Nice.
Which is not a gospel musical, but I had to.
Is it located? Where is it located?
In Buenos Aires.
Yeah, and the area's I can't remember the first one.
Oh, you mean the temple?
Yeah.
Yeah, the temple is in the city called Ciudad Evita.
Yes.
Yes. It's named for her, and they said the streets are supposed to form her profile image.
Oh, are you serious?
I don't think they do, but I looked at a map.
Well, I'll tell you because Bob was
went to Argentina, sure.
It sounds like we go everywhere, but we totally don't.
It's like you've either been to every temple or Bob has.
Yeah, but it's not true. But he was there because that was the last place the choir went.
Okay.
And so I asked him, so do you have anything to say? And this coincides with other things I've said. It's near the airport.
Right.
And so lots of people can see it from the road.
Oh.
And because it's near the airport, it's visible, right? Lots of people will see it. But he said, Argentina has such wonderful neighborly people. As our bus drove to the venue, it felt like we were driving down Sesame Street. Neighbors were out, people were on their balconies, shopkeepers were out at their doors chatting with people on the street. And he said it was a lovely place. And when he got back, he's like, I want to take you there. And so of course I want to go everywhere he goes, but that was the first time he'd said we should go.
Okay.
Sorry. Well, you would love it.
When I was researching this, I was like, Ben, we should go to Buenos Aires. And he was like, okay, I'll book it. And
okay.
I don't know how serious I was, but it looks lovely. This Rio de la Plata is the little inlet. It's mystifying to me.
And it's like European,
yes.
like it's all
heavily European influence.
Yes. Yeah, because there were lots of European immigrants
in the
yes.
Yeah.
But he said it's just old and beautiful. And
okay.
Yeah. So couples trip. Okay.
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it. That'll be fun. Well, that takes us to the church beginning in Argentina was mostly started by immigrants coming from Germany and Italy, and they were members of the church, and they kind of started and asked for missionaries to be sent by headquarters. And that's where it kind of started. 1935, the South American mission was divided into Argentine and Brazilian missions, and then they started with like 45 missionaries. And then they were mostly, the mission presidents kind of went back and forth on who they should be teaching, like the Germans or the Latins or even the natives, like indigenous populations.
Yeah.
So it kind of was hard to get their footing because they had to translate like sacrament meeting talks from German into Spanish or Spanish into German.
Yeah.
English. It was
like Buenos Aires it was very diverse. Like the people joining the church was very diverse. And I thought it was interesting, these two German families that were going around for 2 years, teaching people. They didn't have authority to be baptized, to baptize people.
Right.
But they went around and would teach people, and they had like 3 different like gatherings.
Yeah, we can't call them sacrament meetings, right? Because they couldn't pass the sacrament. But they would go and
official.
Just to make it easy for people to get there, they did 3 different ones in the city every Sunday.
Because there were so many people that were spread out. And these people would gather without having been baptized and would gather and just...
Some of them even paid tithing.
Yes, because they just were so committed and they wanted to be committed. And I just thought, wow, that's so neat that these 2 German families were just preaching and people were listening.
Yeah.
And they wanted to. And so that's when Melvin... is it Melvin J. Ballard? No.
Yes, Melvin J. Ballard.
He went and dedicated the land, and they sent missionaries and stuff. So.
And it said they sent missionaries like December 5th, and by December 12th, they had like 4 baptisms. It was these German families. And so it just started up right away. Yeah. It was very successful.
Yeah.
He came to visit and dedicated Argentina on Christmas Day, 1925.
I would say there was quite a few Christmas Day dates.
Interesting.
As I was reading through the history, and I'm like, what? Why are people doing stuff like this on Christmas
one of
Day?
them was like I saw this one in 1966. The first stake in Argentina was opened. This was the first Spanish-speaking stake in South America, and the second Spanish-speaking stake in the world.
Okay,
I want to fact check that, but I don't know how to.
Yeah, because we've got Sao Paulo
but they're Portuguese.
Oh, that's right.
But it's 1966 also.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's interesting. And then during one of the mission conferences in 1942, the church celebrated the diversity by having converts from 13 different countries each share one of the articles of faith in their own native language.
Yeah. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
So very diverse. And then it kind of jumps up. The temple was announced for Buenos Aires, Argentina, at a news conference by the Spencer W. Kimball, April 2nd, 1980.
Yeah.
And then...
Even before that, which I thought was interesting, because of all the people joining, they needed buildings. And I think we talked about this in the last one, where they had the building program where they called construction missionaries.
Yeah.
And these missionaries would help construct the buildings, and in turn they were trained.
Churches, schools, just any of the buildings the church needed, they were construction missionaries. Young men could learn a trade and provide the church what it needed, which is a great program.
Yeah. Oh, I love that program. Anyway.
Yeah, that's great. And I saw something like they had 19 chapels built or started in 5 years.
Yeah.
That's
Isn't that
fast.
Cool?
Yeah, that's great. And so much work goes into that.
Well, and I think that, doing this, I didn't find a lot on the temple, but I always like reading the global histories, and we've talked about this before, but the global histories on the LDS church website. It's really interesting to read. I really like reading them, and they're just stories of faith of these people in these countries, just how the church begins and everything. So the people, it seems like several last temples, there's a lot of poor people in these areas. And I just loved how this program where they're training these people to have skills that they can use and move on with. They also had things like farms to help people. And there were anyways, I don't know. Yeah. Go to the global histories.
Yes, go visit the global histories.
It's really interesting.
Yeah.
And
There's a
uplifting.
really good one in Argentina about a chain of converts, which is really good.
Yeah.
But I can't explain it because it's very like this
It's
happened
long.
and then this happened and then like
Yeah.
I couldn't remember it all.
And it's like, it doesn't really have to do with the temple.
Right. So we're trying to edit ourselves.
Yes.
You know, we've got to do like a bunch of Argentina temples. So maybe we'll get around to them.
Yep.
You know,
sounds good.
if somebody's listening to just the Argentina episodes. Okay, the ground was broken. Okay, so it was announced 1980. Ground wasn't broken until 1983. And so my first question is, what's going on politically in the country? And they had something called the Dirty Wars going on from like 1974 to 1983.
Okay.
And that kind of, at the end of that, they reestablished like democracy.
Oh.
So
they had to wait for the government.
Good that they waited.
Yeah.
But I was curious about that. Because this is one that, like 1980 is when they announced all those ones we've already done, like in the Pacific and all those. It was just interesting. This was one of the last ones for that. Anyway, at the groundbreaking, Bruce R. McConkie was there presiding. And then they had an Argentine member be the architect in the Argent, like as a local. His name is Ramon B. Paez. And he later said that his work on the temple brought great changes in both his professional and spiritual life. I like when they can tell us a little bit more behind the scenes. That's good.
Nice, because I never read that.
Yeah, that's okay. We look at different things, which is why this works.
A good thing.
So as they started construction, local members contributed to the project in different ways, and the women crocheted. They were asked to crochet 7 altar cloths.
And how many did they make?
64. It's plenty.
They just had to switch those out all the time.
Yeah. Well, and they were able to.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
Yeah, that's awesome. That just shows how excited they were. They just wanted to do something and be part of it.
Yeah, and contribute and make it beautiful. And then on the outside, the temple is Argentine granite. We're back to granite and marble. We did a lot of years of precast stone and stuff like that. And now the last 2 and this one, granite, marble, granite.
I like it because it's pretty. This temple's really pretty.
It just feels more solid to us, I guess. Okay, open house.
It was like for like 8 days or something, and they had 29,000 visitors, which is a little more than the last one.
Yeah.
And it seemed like they had a little bit more, like they had it on the news and newspapers and
radio
announcements. Yeah.
And the open house went from December 17th to the 24th.
Yeah.
Christmas Eve. Who's going on? I mean, that would be a great thing to do on Christmas Eve, but that's crazy.
Yeah.
Some of the comments left in the temple guest book. One said, "Very pretty, and I need to know more. It interests me." Another said, "The beauty and delicacy of the interior offered a small glimpse of the world to come."
Yeah.
And I have some more.
Okay.
"Lord, guide me and help me to be baptized. Today I did not deserve the reward of knowing thy temple." That's so nice.
That's really neat.
Oh, here's another one. Somebody wrote, "I have become a bit removed from the church, and this visit makes me think about many things that I could come to lose."
I like that.
Yeah.
People are being thoughtful.
Yes. And they're gaining something from their walkthrough.
Yeah.
It's great. So
I love it. Like just seeing people's hearts being open to the feelings of the Spirit.
For sure. For sure. And I have something like people were waiting 2.5 hours to get inside. There was lines.
Was that the renovation one?
I don't know.
Okay.
It could be.
For either one of those open houses.
They were very excited. Okay. For all we talked about, President Hinckley has done, he was not involved in this dedication.
No, he wasn't.
Groundbreaking or rededication.
It was President Thomas S. Monson dedicated it.
It's his first one.
Yeah. His first one. It's special.
It is special. He dedicated it in 11 sessions from January 17th through 19th. 1986. Boyd K. Packer was also in attendance, and he said, "May all who enter this thy house be privileged to say, as did the psalmist of old, we took sweet counsel together and walked unto the house of God in company. We expressed to thee our abiding love. We desire to honor thee and thy Son each day of our lives. May our posterity follow the example of thy Son and increase in wisdom and stature and in favor with God and man."
Nice.
Which is a very familiar scripture for those in the children and youth program. But I also like how he added the psalmist, because that's very Monson to quote a poem or a psalm or something like that.
Yeah, the quotes that I read in this one were very different than President Hinckley's.
Yeah, it's very Monson.
Yeah.
Very sweet. A former mission president was at the dedication, and he said, "We said someday there would be a temple here, but no one thought it would be during our lifetime."
Yeah.
They had a reunion of missionaries, and they were so excited for the temple and for all of the Argentine saints on both sides of the veil.
Yeah, that's sweet. When the temple was dedicated, there were 162,500 Latter-day Saints in the area, and 40 stakes in Argentina, Uruguay, and Paraguay.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a big area.
Yeah.
Lots of people.
About 10,000 people attended the dedication ceremonies, and this is 1 week after the Lima, Peru temple, which I think is interesting that they didn't just have President Hinckley just fly over and do that one, but they had President Monson come do it. That's fine. But
he had something to do.
Yeah.
He was tired. I don't know.
You would be tired.
Yeah.
You totally would.
I know. Honestly, when they say like they dedicated it in like 11 sessions or 14 or 20 or however many sessions, I'm like, they must just read the same prayer, but still like praying that much. I take something out of you. It must.
It does. And it's not just the prayer. I mean, they have other people speak.
Yeah.
And they have a choir. And
it's a lot.
It's a whole program.
Yeah, like 2 hours of church on Sunday exhausts me.
Yeah. And you're in the prime of life. And these guys are not.
I know. I'm like, what? Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
And I got a fun fact that this doubles the amount of temples in South America, but it's like it went from 2 to 4.
Yeah.
Like, I guess technically, yes,
it does double. Yes.
It's doubled. I have a sweet story. Can I read it?
Yeah.
In 1993, primary children all over the world learned about temples, and groups of primary children visited the Buenos Aires Temple every Saturday. The temple president and matron described such an occasion as like this. One Saturday, we had a visit that touched the lives of those in the temple that day. 2 large tour buses pulled up at the curb. We could see children aligning and forming rows with 3 in a row, holding hands and slowly moving toward the temple gates. There were nearly 100 of them, and they were singing "We Love to See the Temple." All dressed in white, the girls in long dresses with white ribbons in their hair, and the boys in white trousers with white shirts. The leaders accompanying them were also dressed in white. As the children entered the temple annex, they stopped singing and moved with great reverence toward the annex room where they were to assemble. We noticed the details of their preparation. Each child was also wearing white shoes or had white terrycloth shoe covers. Each was carrying a booklet that he or she had made that had a picture of the temple on the front and special things inside, such as a copy of the dedicatory prayer offered by President Monson, the history of the temple and the site, teachings about the temple, and his or her own impressions of the temple. Not a word was spoken. During a short service, the children, ages 3 to 12, gave the prayers, testimonies, and sang. As we invited them to return to the temple, to be sealed with their families, and receive their own ordinances, the love in the room was overflowing. As each child left, still completely reverent, each one gave me and my wife Joanne a kiss on the cheek. These children returned home and bore their testimonies in their wards. We have since heard reports of several of the testimonies. In addition, several of the children have returned with their families to be sealed in the temple. It was so cute. And I just picturing them all like in coordinated clothes and putting forth all that effort to, I don't know, make it a special event.
To make it special and impress upon their minds how special it is and that it's a place they want to be at, to make choices to get there.
Yeah. And I also think about the leaders who organized that kind of an event.
Yeah.
And they're like, we really want you to wear white dresses and white and like putting that demand on them to show them that you need to be prepared for these things and you need to be obedient to an extent to make it really special. And I picture them like tying the ribbons in the kids' hair.
Yeah. It's like there's a certain criteria you have to follow, which is true.
It is true. Yeah.
Yeah. So it just helps them to know to prepare.
And I feel like in our area, at least, we are so scared to make demands of people. Like, please come in Sunday best. Sounds like the hardest thing you can ask the youth and parents on a Sunday afternoon.
That is true.
But if you were like, we're going to go visit the temple, please, everyone wear white, like that, it's hard. Like, we still just want them to show up.
Yeah.
and keeping the bar very low, when maybe we could have a medium bar.
This is kind of a side thing. It's interesting because I think that the church has moved. Like, I love that story and I think it's really great and it's good for the time that it was. And I think our church has moved from more of that outward appearance of doing things
Maybe you're right.
to more of an inner, what's going on inside you.
Yes.
And like the For Strength of Youth is talking just more of like, talk with God and figure out with God how you should be following this commandment. It's just a lot more inner workings on the inside rather than what's being shown on the outside. And that's where our efforts are, I feel like, are being more focused on. But at the same time, yeah, you should wear a dress to the Sunday evening fireside meeting.
I don't know. You're right, and you've set me right, but I do.
There is a standard that we can hold ourselves to.
Okay, all right. We can both be right. Two things can be true.
Both right.
Two things can be true. Okay.
Yep.
In renovation world, they closed the temple in 2009, and they said it was going to be an 18-month renovation. Well, it turned into 3 years, and they built on 2 wings of the temple.
Okay.
Huge wings.
It's really pretty. Like
pretty.
You've got your standard tent temple. If you ever go back and look at the pictures of all these tent temples we've been talking about.
Right.
But now this one has like almost two more tents off at an angle. But it's really pretty.
I think it's great.
Yeah. I'm just like, I kept trying to read to figure out what is in those 2 wings.
Me too. I was like, how can I figure out what wing this is? Is this the baptisms and locker rooms wing, or is this the sealing rooms wing?
Right.
Like, they've had to, right?
Yeah.
Because that just makes sense. Like, leave the instruction rooms in the main one, because that's where the celestial room would be.
So, okay. So this is what I think. I think they must have just added in those 2 wings is like waiting areas, maybe a bride's room, because there's a bride's room. Yeah. I don't know if there was one before or not.
Right, but not in these, like the tiny temples have just the bare necessities.
Yeah.
It was like 17,000 square feet before, so it wasn't tiny.
No, it isn't. So this got me questioning everything.
Yeah.
Because I went back and looked at Lima, Peru. That was only like 9,000 square feet.
Yeah.
And this one's 17,000. And I'm like, okay, is it just a bigger tent? Maybe it has a basement and Lima doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't really know. But they both have 4 instruction rooms, 3 sealing rooms, and a baptistry.
Interesting.
And so I don't know if those rooms are just bigger and smaller in each temple. But then this one has the 2 wings on it. What is going on? Because they didn't seem to change They
didn't talk about moving anything or adding anything.
Yeah.
They just said they added 2 wings and a lot of beautiful things. I mean, like art glass and things that include the Argentine flag colors in the art glass, decorative painting, gold leaf, and a nice fountain in the front. Hardwoods from Africa, landscaping, and a plaza. But like, what's in those buildings?
I think because now they have taken pictures.
Right. We do have pictures inside.
But also I'm kind of like, the pictures are okay.
They don't tell the whole story.
They do not tell the whole story, but it is beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, at least we get some pictures of the inside. And the gold in there, they do have a lot of gold and it's really beautiful. And the glass is beautiful. But I think that's why I think they've added. I think they added in waiting rooms and the bride's room.
Maybe in locker rooms or something.
Yeah. Okay, so I did find, sometimes Facebook pops up. Like when I do a search, a Facebook post pops up.
Okay.
And sometimes I read through the comments to see if there's anything interesting. One guy was like, is there any reason why this temple design is no longer being used?
Well, it's a one of a kind. Does he mean the tent or just the whole thing?
I think the tent style.
I think it's dated. What did the comment say?
Okay, so the one guy said, one weakness of that design is that it requires people to walk through the dressing rooms to get from the front areas to the back areas. So every single group has to split into men and women in order to get from the front of the temple to the back of the temple.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So if you're like just going for a ceiling, you can't stay together. You have to find each other after.
Yeah.
Huh.
So I don't, yeah,
That gives us a little insight.
of what the insides are like.
Yeah. So
And
you get, it's like recommend desk, locker rooms.
mhm. So I don't know, maybe they did move locker rooms more into those
Maybe.
wings, maybe.
But that would divide them more.
Oh,
But they could have
that's
moved the
true.
recommend desk up into the entryway
Uh,
or the court,
yeah.
because all of the 3 tents, wings, they all attached at a central location. So that's where I would
Yeah.
put a,
I don't know.
I don't know either. That's weird. Not weird. I just want to know.
Yeah, I know. We needed way more information
Yeah.
about what's going on in
We need to
those.
walk through that.
Yeah.
We need
Okay,
to go
that
to the
is
open
another
house.
really great reason that we should go.
To Argentina. I'm for it.
Okay.
And then they put a new Angel Moroni statue on top in 2011, which I guess they were just trading it out, probably.
I don't know what was wrong with the other one. See, no information.
Yeah, a lot of holes. Listen, if you know the answer to these, please leave a comment because we want to know.
Yeah.
The public open house for the renovated building was August 4th through the 25th, 2012. 100,000 visitors toured the temple this time. Including about 12,000 in one day.
Yeah, that was super cool.
That is cool.
And I think by then they were advertising it a lot more.
Oh, okay.
Well, and this was longer.
Yeah,
This
it was a
almost like
month.
3 weeks. Yeah.
Oh, 3 weeks, yeah. But the church is just more well known.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what, 2012? Yeah. Not that long ago, right?
I had to remind myself that it wasn't that long ago.
14 years ago.
That feels like forever.
Yeah.
So
President Eyring rededicated it in 3 sessions, September 9th, 2012. And then they did broadcast that out to other meeting houses nearby.
yeah, so that was just done in 3, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, you just do it in 3
Well,
and you
once you-
broadcast.
Yeah. And I think that's more the trend now.
Okay.
But they've been broadcasting for a long time.
Yeah, so I don't know.
They're just like, you either see it or you don't.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But there were lots of people that traveled from far away, Uruguay and Paraguay, to come to the open house and to the dedication.
Yes. Very cool. My only interior fact is that the temple has colors and art glass in blue, white, and gold representing Argentina's flag, which is a fun fact, but I think I already said it.
Yeah, I think I'm glad you said it again because I love the Argentina flag.
I do too.
I kind of like flags at all, but the Argentina flag's really nice.
Yeah.
And I love that they used that idea in their
I think
decoration.
they're very proud of their flag, so that
Yeah.
makes sense. Okay, other temples in Argentina. In addition to Buenos Aires, there's Cordoba. Bahia Blanca was dedicated last year. Mendoza and Salta. And then 2 more are announced and in planning stages. Another one in Buenos Aires, city center.
Yeah.
And Rosario, Argentina.
Yep.
This temple serves members from 38 states and 8 districts, mostly in eastern and far southern Argentina. And they had 6 sessions Tuesday through Thursday, 9 on Friday, 12 on Saturday.
Okay.
So
nice.
And a lot of them were full.
Do you have any more?
No, go.
They used to, on the site, they used to have a missionary training center.
Okay, I had a question about that because
Okay.
everything I saw said it has a missionary training center. And then one thing I saw said used to have a missionary training center. So they just moved it somewhere else?
Yeah, I know. I saw that and I'm like, is it there or is it not there?
Is it because of the renovation that they moved it?
So I asked the internet, is there a missionary training center in Argentina? No, they decided to use their resources other places. So like you either go to the Mexico one or there's Mexico and there's another one. And
Is there one in Chile?
it could be.
It would have to be Spanish.
Yeah.
So not Brazil. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Makes sense.
so they wanted to use their
that's
resources somewhere else, which is fine. But they do have, so there used to be one there and now they don't. But they do have patron housing that houses like 154 people and 10 couples.
I appreciate that they told us how many like these things actually hold because we hear patron housing and we're like, some number of patrons can stand
10
there.
people. 54 in this one.
Okay, that's great.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the rooms look like, if it's like a hotel.
Right.
Or
a dorm or what.
Yeah.
But then 10 missionary couples, which we assume are full-time missionary, like older missionaries.
Yeah, and maybe they have kitchens in their place. I don't know.
And then they help at the temple.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, and they had a youth celebration. This was back when they did youth celebrations.
A cultural celebration.
Yeah, cultural
With
celebration.
youth.
With the youth before the temple was rededicated. I really love the youth celebrations that they did, but I totally know why they don't do them anymore.
Yeah.
So this one had like 2,000 youth singing and dancing in the cultural celebration, and they had I think they had 10,000 more youth across the country, and probably Uruguay and Paraguay too, that they pre-recorded things maybe. So it was huge.
It's huge.
And it's a big deal, and I think it costs a lot of money too to run these huge shows, but they're so cool and so neat. I liked this because they feature obviously their culture, and they talk about the cowboy culture. I didn't really know this until Bob went to Argentina. They have a huge cows ranching.
Yes.
Meat, steaks,
Yes.
all that. And he was so nice and brought me back a purse made out of cow hide.
Nice.
Anyways, so that's a really big culture there in Argentina, is the cowboy culture. So I thought that was kind of fun.
That was the theme, or they used that in the
part of it.
Celebration.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. There would be a lot of things included, like the immigrant heritage. There would be a lot of diversity, I think, included in the celebration. But
that's great. Love it. Okay, you ready for some facts and stats?
Yeah.
Okay. It was announced April 2nd, 1980. Groundbreaking April 20th, 1983. Dedicated January 1986 by Thomas S. Monson, January 17th through the 19th. Rededicated September 9th, 2012 by Henry B. Eyring. The site is on 3.7 acres. It has a light gray Argentine granite, 6 detached spires with an angel Moroni, 4 instruction rooms, 3 ceiling rooms, and 1 baptistry. It was originally 17,600 square feet and is now 30,600 square feet. And it's 112 feet tall, which I think has been the same for all of them.
Yeah, I think so too.
So it's hard to say that they're getting bigger, but I guess they could be longer. I don't know. Or with the base.
Deeper.
The base. Yeah, they're deep.
I don't know.
All right, Janelle, final thoughts.
One thing I read that Thomas S. Monson said, and this sounds like Thomas S. Monson. We are dedicating a monument to resurrection and exaltation of the human family. He said at the ceremony, if the outside knew what was happening in here, the cars would stop, planes would not take off, and people would gather to see what the Lord hath wrought. This work we have a part in. It is it is a cause for great rejoicing. And, just the idea, he likes to paint a picture in your head. And so the idea of the whole world stopping, realizing how important this is for eternity, we'd all just stop what we are doing and pay attention. And that just makes me reflect on, I need to not take for granted what we have right down the street.
Yes. Yeah.
So
it's true. I look forward to more of President Monson's dedications.
Do you think we'll get a lot more?
I think there's a couple more, especially when he's prophet.
Yeah.
He gets to do a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, if he can call dibs before President Hinckley.
I don't know. I think the next several hundred are President Hinckley.
You're not wrong. Several dozen. Okay. All right. Are we all done?
Yep.
Thank you for being with us as we discuss this Buenos Aires Argentina Temple. If you have more stories about this or another temple, please share it with us on our Instagram and Facebook pages at Every Temple Podcast. And if you learned something, please share this podcast with a friend. Follow us wherever you listen. On Spotify and YouTube, you can leave comments, ratings, and reviews. We will see you in the next episode where we talk about the Denver, Colorado Temple.
Back to the mainland.
Back to the U.S. If you want to learn more about why we build temples and the role they play in our religion, please visit churchofjesuschrist.org/temples. We are not sponsored by or affiliated with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.